Now, my favorite video game ever is Undertale. Or couldn't you tell? But I just realized that I've never actually made an Undertale video. I've made plenty of Deltarune videos, but none that just focus on Undertale. So today I'm making a video to get us all on the same page by going over the basics, kind of like my FNAF lore video. But don't let that fool you into thinking that this is simple, because this iceberg goes super deep. And being a theorist at heart, I of course made the iceberg a corkboard style, so yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that from now on. July 24th, 2013. A game appears on Kickstarter called Undertale. There's hints about what the story could be, tons of cool screenshots of the characters and battles, and a pledge goal of $5,000. Yeah, we kind of exceeded that, like almost immediately. There's also a game demo on the website that shows us some of the similarities and differences that were in Undertale's original iterations. And of course, with all the money that was made with the Kickstarter, it was only a matter of time before the game itself released. The game opens with a little slideshow that tells us that once upon a time there were monsters and humans. The monsters and humans went to war, the humans were victorious and locked them all underground with a magic spell. Eventually, we see this one kid fall into the underground and the game begins. We start as this kid, Frisk, who's just fallen into the underground. They meet a flower who's evil, and then they get saved by their new mom, Goat Mom, aka Toriel. The only problem is that Toriel's a little bit overprotective. But once you show Toriel that you're strong enough, you can leave peacefully. Unless it's your first playthrough, in which you probably kill her. See, this is because of an interesting mechanic Undertale has, where every single enemy, from Frogget to Toriel, can be either spared or fought. You can choose to kill the enemy or spare them in a non-violent fashion. If you spare everyone or kill everyone, you get different endings. As you have the option to spare every enemy you come across, you eventually reach the end and King Asgore. If you decide to spare him, then the flower comes along and kills him. This is the main plot you'll understand on your first playthrough of the game. But unfortunately, after this, it gets a lot more complicated. See, if you spare every single person you meet along your journey, you'll get a new ending, in which Alphys confides in you her tragic backstory. See, Alphys is the royal scientist, so when she found a bunch of dead bodies, she decided to inject them with this weird soul juice that reportedly should be able to bring them back to life. Unfortunately, when they did come back to life, they came back as these weird gloopy amalgamations. So yeah, that was a bit of a whoopsies. But here's where things get a little bit more interesting. You see, at the end of the game, when you spare everyone, Flowey comes in after they save you from Asgore. He then steals all of their souls and the 6 human souls to gain as much power as possible, and becomes Asriel Dreamer. Allow me to explain how all of this happens. So, this is Asriel. This kid falls into the underground. This was actually the kid from the opening and is a different child from the character that we play as. It's not Frisk, it's someone new. Asriel feels bad for the kid, so he takes him back home, where they raise the child as one of their own. His parents happen to be Asgore and Toriel. Now, this kid really hates humanity, so they decide to eat a poisonous flower on purpose, die, and then have Asriel absorb their soul to be able to go to the surface and get past the barrier. The barrier is the thing the humans made to keep the monsters underground after they won the war. Once Asriel absorbs the soul, he basically gets superpowers, goes to visit the humans, but he doesn't want to kill them because that would be mean. So they kill him instead. He survives just long enough to get home and crumble on flowers, or brings a bouquet of flowers back with him. The important thing is, he dies on this flower, so his essence is in it. And then good old Dr. Alphys injects some determination into it because, well, I don't mean to be mean, but she's kind of stupid. But the thing is, since he was a flower, there was no way for him to have a soul. Ergo, he couldn't feel love and was now evil to everybody. But when he finally absorbed everyone's souls in the end, then he started crying, and then I started crying, and then you started crying, because we're halfway through the video and we haven't even talked about Gaster yet. So by now it's pretty obvious that this weird soul goop that Alphys has been using is pretty important. So what exactly is it? Where does it come from? What does it do? And who actually discovered it? Because it wasn't Dr. Alphys. You see, we play as this character, Frisk. In Undertale, each human soul has its own color and trait. Ours is red for determination, and that's what it is. Stop arguing about that. This gives us the power to do a true reset every time we replay the game, and the ability to respawn every single time that we die. This is a pretty important power, obviously. So Alphys tried to inject it into the dead bodies so they could come back after death. However, she didn't do this by herself. She had the help of these mysterious blueprints that we know she didn't write. They were made by the previous royal scientist who built the core and most of the things that we see in TrueLab, including the determination extractor. Now, who was this royal scientist? Well, Alphys is stupid, so we all know it wasn't her. It was definitely the one that came before her. And luckily, because of the lab entries, we know who it was. One of the lab entries is written in Wingdings, this weird hard-to-read font, and that connects it to W.D. Gaster. See, Gaster was doing experiments with the determination extractor, but unfortunately, something went so wrong that now he can't do anything but sing this stupid song. But there's also the Gaster followers, who presumably had to be involved in the accident that destroyed Gaster, because they're the reason we know what happened. See, he fell into one of his creations and died. It's intentionally vague, so we don't know exactly. And for additional lore, so you're not confused, people seem to assume that Sans and Papyrus are related to Gaster in some way, most likely familial. And yeah, that's the basics of Undertale, done and away with. Wait, but what about Gaster? What creation did he fall into? How's he related to Sans and Papyrus? What's the deal with Frisk? Well, don't worry, concerned commenter, because I'm just as interested in answering these mysteries as you are. As a matter of fact, I have some theories that I think could really shake things up. So, until we get to make those, remember, Alphys is stupid, Ralsei is flowy, and this has been Tater Animations trying to do a YouTube video. End card time. Oh, thank goodness. I didn't think I was going to be able to get this out on time. Whew. Out of the recording spot now. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll make an actually entertaining end card. So I did not think I was going to be able to get this video out on time. It was a huge rush because this is our final run of shows. We're doing Newsies at my school. So I was not sure that I was going to be able to get this video out on time. But finally, here it is. So thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you so much for all the support on the last video. It was actually mind-blowing. We reached 800 subscribers, which is fantastic. I'm sure that sounds kind of pathetic to some of you guys watching, but that's a huge, huge thing to me. And if we reach, by any chance, 1,000 anytime soon, I'm going to do something really special. I'm going to reveal that the way to eternal life